When my son David Allen Gale ESTEP was first born, it was very beautiful, beautiful pictures. But the factor is, I've listened to Doors a lot in life, and happens to be that David, my son, uh, he looked a lot like the dude from the Doors. You know, the photo picture. Um, happen to know the person. It's a beautiful song. Right on to the other side. Well, when the one child had passed away, it was around Christmas time. Um, it would be 10:04, and around that time, it was around Christmas time. Um, we was dealing with a lot of back and forth with the two others, Johnny Edward Estep and Tori Lynn Estep, and well, we was trying to do therapy. It wasn't working out so well. Johnny didn't like having to have the door shut, and he said his brother in spirit literally told him that his father had left a hammer in the bedroom with him, and he said that his brother David told him to bust the wall and get on through to the other side. I thought that was the funniest thing, but the scariest thing was his brother hadn't even been buried yet of that part of one of the Davids. It's a long story on that. But the factor was his brother didn't get buried till the 28th of December, but he died 12/19. Um, Years later, Delilah Jade Smith was born, and she was born on 12/19. Um, Again, that's kind of an entwined thing. And so my son John Edward Estep and me, it's an infinity for like beyond forever. It's freaking awesome. Tori and Kenneth are like that, and therefore they twist in because your children are part of you, as we know. But yes, it was a scary but beautiful moment because I'd already knew the person once, long time ago. Made a beautiful song. Of course, I listened to. I also listened to a lot of trucking songs. Teddy Bear. That happened to be a true story. Um, a lot of times we've had to take different trips. I had a lot of disabilities, accidents from stupid people trying to rip me apart. It's true. Uh, as I said, you run into a lot of things. And I just want your children to know, especially the handicapped, keep trying. I know you can't speak, some of you can't very well, um, but try. Um, the easiest word is Eionu. Take your time, watch their eyes. My son David was very good with, he could speak very much, I'd say English. He spoke more Latin words. I used to, but I got around people that had me speak more English so that you understand. I speak a very old language that a lot of people do not comprehend. It is before the Incas. I've had to do a lot of studies on this. I still have to learn from this other things. It's like going past three or more planets, star, another planet, and off further into space type thing. But when you listen to the Doors, of course, that song was a very smooth song, or Cat in the Cradle, the Silver Spoon. I have been having to work, 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 and a lot of people hasn't seen me. It's so long, but a lot of people had done me wrong when I was a little kid. Um, but I still kept getting up, whether my legs hurt or not. Um, I've had problems with my back, my spine, your nerves. Somebody had damaged my son David's nerve in his neck. And then there was another incident because it starts way before Johnny, Tori, and Kenneth and Delilah over jealousy, hatred. But I kept trying to keep my kids away from certain things like that. I didn't like them being racist. I don't like them being prejudiced. Um, Granted, it does call it's what they call rolls off your tongue because you're around it. Um, but at the same time, I do not tolerate a lot of things, and I taught my children to have some fucking respect. You don't like my language of where I cuss, and I'm going to tell you again. I've been this way for ever so long. I even used to say fudge because you get your ass beat in certain relatives if you use the cuss word. And I want to remind you again, you ain't going to stop me from cussing, for one. Uh, and meaning of blasphemous means you cussing at me for I've done what needed to be done to protect this planet, for one. And I've had a lot of people like, that ain't my problem. So you should have been there. I'm sorry you wasn't there. And then it was in another song, country song. A lot of times it's in pictures. Um, a lot of sci-fi crazy situations. But I'm very proud of who I am. These people had no rights to damage or attack my children. They made these mistakes long ago. It was supposed to be reprimanded. I mean, not reprimanded, what's the word? Taught to not do these things. But you went right out and done it anyway. Now, I know I get rough and tumble with some people, and sometimes I don't understand them or they don't understand me. Me and this other one got into a fight over reasons. And just telling you straight out, most of the time it was over somebody was fucking arguing with somebody else. Don't come yelling and screaming at me. Try not to. I know sometimes we get overheated. But the factor was that it was what my son was like. And I didn't want people putting their wrong words in a child's ear. I told somebody, don't whisper your lies into my children's ear. This is what I mean. I want you to tell the truth. If there's going to be reprimanding beforehand, great. We know as we get older, we're going to get into fights. We know this. Later on, we might scratch it off and say whatever. But no, you damaged a child. Another one kidnapped a child on 9/11. It's at Twin Towers. When they send you a card saying your child's been stolen, and this is just a copy of the ID, that means your child's been stolen. It's kidnapping. It said kidnapping ring, and they did it right out of the fucking school. Therefore, etc. Another time they did it up in Licking County, thereabouts. Heath at Millersburg. They sent me, so they sent another child. This is not okay. Don't get me wrong. I like your children at best I can. But when you sit there and try to throw in my face after you stealing mine and admitting to your family that you attacked mine, yes, I'm going to be upset. And somebody else would say, well, they killed. Okay, I understand that. The ones that did it or was involved in it literally was making the fucking comment. Like, okay, that they could get rude with you. Well, I had a child after I killed yours. Well, do you want me to get mad to the point? Because there is these people out here that get so fucking mad at this bullshit. They're going, well, you wanted to knock mine off. That's my bloodline. I'm going to knock yours off. These people are out there for a reason. You done this. You was trying to act like a terrorist, trying to get somebody to change their mind about something. I'm not the one to do this with. I'm going to tell you straight out. Uh, I was already a royal princess. Uh, I'm already a king. It's in song, not just Motley Crue or Sevenfold. There was another one a while back, but that meant I don't want you touching children. Now, the one mentioned something about they did not have me. I don't understand, but they've got two different stories mixed the fuck up. Okay, the woman did try to rip me apart. My cousin, or they're of a relation of, so because I was too little, I wasn't even that old. Didn't think it was cute for them to come by. They literally was trying to rip my ass apart, pulling on my legs. The other one, because I said the stories have gotten mixed up. The other one had to do with a sister at the time that was having a baby. She was sitting on the toilet. She thought she had to go to the bathroom because we do have these issues. So I got her off the toilet so that you understand her child didn't get flushed down no fucking toilet. She got off the toilet. I got the water prepared. I got the towels prepared. Everything was as so they should be for her to have birth within the house. This was on Groveport Road. So y'all need to learn to get your stories straight before lying on my fucking name. Let alone put your hands on my children. Because I already said you don't need to touch my children. Because I already know what problem you have. You twisted stories up. If you can't understand or comprehend when somebody's having a little faith in you to just tell you about some old times, maybe the shit will move on. But you encourage the same fucking problem as what you started when I was a child. And you did. But you couldn't handle the truth. So the next time you want to get jiggy with it, I'm going to make it real clear to you. There was a time after what you did to me. You ripped my fucking legs and you put me on a cross when I was a baby as well. There was times. I'm not saying I ain't going to get angry with you. It's times that I have. And I wanted to do to you what you've done to me. And what you've done to my children. The difference between me and you is there's a lot more things out there. There's intelligence. Oh, there is. Now, so now I have a child. I was able to go through the wires to express themselves. Just because you don't, they lie and say the child don't have much brain because they've had a loose muscle or they run a little slower. That don't make them stupid. There's other things that's going on in the head of theirs. And I've seen it personally. It's beautiful. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, so be it. Because I could be like you and just rip your ass apart for what you've done to my children. And the same, I look at everybody else's, some other children, and they're very beautiful children, and they might be related. I don't know. They might be related to you. But I'd sure as hell keep my distance. I even told somebody, keep that person's hands away from my child. Because again, like I said, you've said this, you've gotten words mixed up, you've gotten stories mixed up. You then had the nerve to make come, oh, you're all up in the back. Let me remind you, you're still over these things. You understand? You just can't run away. It comes back to you. And well, you've put me on a cross again. And so you want to say, oh, get over it and move forward.